So I thought we'd start off by making a very simple card just using some of the components that you've got in the kit, okay? So I'm going to show you how to do this. This is a gatefold card. So in your pack you've already got a set of gatefold cards. So this is how they come. They're 6 inches square and they meet perfectly in the middle. Now what I've used to decorate this is some of the coloured cardstock. So you see you get a whole selection of different colours. So I'm going to use some of the nice deeper green shade, still a pastel green, but a little bit deeper. And then you can get all of this from one sheet of your cardstock. So you're not even going to use a whole 8x8 sheet. You're going to have way more cardstock than you'll ever need to make all the cards in the collection with this. So what I've done is, you see, I've already cut a piece of card just slightly smaller to go on the inside here, which I'm just going to mat and layer. I'm a big fan of matting and layering where possible because what it does is it adds strength and rigidity into your card. So it's going to mat and layer onto the inside, and then I'm going to do exactly the same with two of these pieces, just cut to size to mat and layer perfectly on the outside as well. And I'm using a tape pen for my matting and layering, but you could just as easily be using double-sided tape, or if you like to do it with a wet glue, that would work just as well. Try not to put too much on though, so you don't buckle your card. If you do go with a tape pen, you've got to be fairly confident at getting them down in the right place the first time, as I'm not managing to do here, because they don't have that little bit of give in them. Now the actual card itself, if I just show you inside, what I've done is I've done a few of these torn edges. Now if you're going to do that, it's nice to add a little bit of colour where they're going to be. So to add the colour, I've just got a distress ink and a sponge applicator. Now it doesn't have to be this sponge applicator, you could use any sort of makeup sponge applicator or anything that's great. What you don't want to do is you don't want to be putting the ink straight on the paper like this because it'd be too much. So you see the sponge just picks it up, and then all I'm doing is with light little circles, I'm just adding that colour around the edge. And all it does is it kind of takes a little bit of the starkness off the edge. Now we can't do this in the printing process because we don't know what size you're going to cut your card to. So it's always something nice to do, distress the edges of your card once you've got them cut to size, ready to go. So you can see I add them down the sides, and then I know I'm going to want to put a little tear up here. So I'll put that in there, and then another one down here. So what I'm going to do is on the underside, just put ink on the tear as well. Alright, so now we've got a little bit of ink on the tear. What we can do is kind of turn it round. So I'm using the edges of my scissors just to kind of take that round a little bit. And it just gives it that lovely shape. And you see that it's starting to come in. And you can even ink where we've got that torn bit there. So the more you go over it, the more you're going to have that sort of roll on the edge. Okay, so I'll do it again here, just pulling it round, and you've got that roll on the edge. And it's much better to do it with scissors, I find, than anything else, because they've got that lovely kind of sharp edge, but without being a knife blade sharp. You don't want a knife blade sharp there. Okay, and then again, where I've got that little bit of white, just going to take the starkness off the edge. Okay, so that you see that is going to be ready to layer on the inside of the card. So again, I'm going to go over with the tape pen because I'm fairly confident at getting this down in the right place first time. If you're a wet glue person, take your time and do it with some wet glue. Okay, so plenty of tape on there. And then it's just, because we've got that green behind, it's just revealing that little bit of colour there. Okay, and of course they will flatten down once we've got the front bit on. Then I'm going to do exactly the same on the front. Again, I've got a couple of pieces which are going to go on the front edges there. I'm just going to put a little tear in one of them. So I'm going to do the same again, just a little bit of ink and give some shaping to that tear. Now, before I stick this one down, this one's going on the right, what I do want to do is wrap some of this all the way around. So actually I will stick that and then show you the wraparound that I was after. So that's going to go down on the right hand side. Oh, that's what I mean about not sticking it till you know it's exactly where you want it. I am leaving about 1/8 of an inch gap all the way around. Then this is going to go around the inside. So if I put some tape right down the inside, going to stretch this taut. You could just run the iron over it if you wanted to take out all of those creases. And then plenty of tape up the middle, you see. I'm going to wrap this around and I'm going to cover it over with a little bow at the top. Let's just take it up a little bit further here. So it just covers that over all together. Now I've already tied a bow. Never like having to do them live on air or when I'm showing people. So if I put this down, you see that bow's going to cover that beautifully. And then I've also got a tiny little flower from the set, which I'm going to just stick on with a little blob of glue gel, because that's going to give me a permanent stick when we finish. And then again the piece on the other side, just exactly the same as what we did on the inside, making sure you put plenty of tape right around all that torn selection. Now because we've got lots of design going on with the paper, my plan was just to very simply put a topper on the front, but I'm only going to stick it on 1/2. Now bear in mind these are the toppers from the die cut topper kit, so they're already die cut for you. So you see that'll go down there, but if I show you, as the set this came from, you've got plenty of the designs and they're all die cut, so they literally just pop out when you're ready to use them. And I've got the same Have a Wonderful Day to go on the inside. So what I thought is this would come down here quite nicely. I think I'll raise that up a little bit with my glue gel. Have a wonderful day. And then just one of those lovely pearls on the top to cover over where we've got that little hole, because it was designed as a tag, that one. And that just shows you how, just with a little bit of creative license, you can take something that might look really flat and ordinary in the papers and really make them dimensional, make a really stunning card.